never much cared for rules. I've always believed that they were made to be broken. And that's the case today. We're going to look at some of the rules of blues guitar playing and then effectively destroy them. What I mean by rules are tendencies. I feel like as guitar players, we all have certain inclinations when it comes to blues guitar specifically. You know, we hear something like this, we immediately think, oh. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think we can break out of that mindset very simply. And I'm going to show you a couple ways how you can do that. The first is to first start with the chord progression. Let's do every guitar player's favorite key, E minor. So the first rule that we're going to break is the rule that you have to play the minor pentatonic scale all the time over a blues. That is just not true, especially when it comes to a minor blues, which I think minor overall is a more expressive tonality than major modes. So in a minor pentatonic, you have 5 notes. That is what you're kind of limited to. If you want to play the blues scale, maybe there's an extra flat 5 note in there, but for all intents and purposes, guitar players tend to stick to those boxes of 5-note groupings. So we're going to break that rule right now. I'm going to first show you a couple different tonalities that also work in place of that minor pentatonic sound, as well as how to use those notes effectively. First, let's take a listen to each of the sounds that we're going to be working with here. So as you heard there, we have the minor pentatonic, the rule we're trying to break, and then we also have a couple modes of the major scale, Aeolian and Dorian. Now the reason that these are kind of breaking out of that blues mentality is because there are extra notes. There's 7 notes in each of these modes as opposed to 5. So that means 2 extra colors potentially to craft licks from. So now that we've broken the rule of we're only limited to the minor pentatonic scale when we play blues, I'm going to take it a step further, wrong notes, and making them oh so right. You may have noticed when I was playing through those scales that a couple notes sort of clashed, and we're going to go a step further. Like I mentioned, I'm going to really harp on a couple different notes and show you how playing with the right attitude and placing these notes strategically in a given lick, almost masking them in what's more comfortable, that minor pentatonic sound, is an awesome way to break the rules and break out of the kind of typical blues guitar soloing that you may be used to. So in the Dorian mode specifically, there is a major 6th note, and obviously that clashes against the minor sound of a minor chord. So we're going to take that same approach and also add a major 3rd. You'll see how this major 6 and major 3rd against a minor sound in a blues context, but meshed in with our typical blues licks, will create this pushing and pulling of the listener's ear to form something truly rule-breaking. So, what'd you think? Feels pretty good to break the rules, doesn't it? I think this is an excellent way to spice up your blues guitar playing and really any style of guitar that you play. You don't always have to revert to your first tendency, your first approach. I don't think there are any rules in music. There are only guidelines. So, with that said, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and until next time, keep shredding.